Center for the Ethiopian Educational Information and Communication Technology presents Educational Satellite Television Programs.
Hello, teacher. Hello, students. Welcome to today's lesson, which begins our unit on the arts and literature. When we were last together, you wrote a self-assessment of your strengths and weaknesses. Art and literature are forms of expression that relate very closely to the culture of a society. Often, art and literature are used as a means of expressing an opinion or point of view. These methods have been used to communicate difficult or revolutionary concepts all over the world. There are many ways these ideas can be related to the rest of the world. Sometimes we communicate using stories or songs, and other times we may use videos or movies. There is a significant amount of information that can be gathered from the art and literature of a particular nation or country. It is also a great way to learn the subtleties of the English language. Today, we will be starting our exploration by studying the plot of a film. Let us read from a passage. As you listen, take note of the characters and settings. Also, try to determine what genre of film it is and try to keep track of the plot. Make sure to write down any words you do not understand in your vocabulary notebook. Newly recruited to the British Secret Service MI6, James Bond goes on his first ever mission as a 007 or secret agent. This takes him to Uganda, where he is to spy on a known terrorist. Things don't go according to plan, and Bond decides to track down the rest of the terrorist cell. This leads him to the beautiful Bahamas in the Caribbean, where he learns that Le Chiffre, banker to the world's terrorists, is participating in a poker game at the Casino Royale in Montenegro. Le Chiffre must win back his money in order to stay safe among the terrorist market. The boss of MI6, known simply as M, sends Bond along with beautiful fellow MI6 agent Vesper Lind to attend this game and prevent Le Chiffre from winning. At first, doubtful of what value Vesper can provide, Bond's interest in her deepens as they brave danger together and even torture at the hands of Le Chiffre. The marathon game proceeds with dirty tricks and violence, but Bond outwits Le Chiffre, to win the game, and in doing so, destroying Le Chiffre's organization. Bond knows that his life is now in danger, but he wants to start a new life with Vesper. His cover is blown in a mountain hideaway, and in the action-packed finale... Sorry, students, but we do not get to learn the real ending yet. First, let us do an activity to make up our own. Working with a partner, guess what will happen at the end of the film. Write at least 2 sentences that describe your idea.
Students, let's get ready. Begin. Time's up. Let's get back to our lesson.
Welcome back, everyone. I wonder what kind of predictions you made about the ending of this film. Perhaps you thought that James Bond would die at the end of the film. However, you probably thought that since the hero always lives, that he is successful in stopping Le Chiffre from succeeding in his plot. However, what is important here is that we pay close attention to the sentences you used to explain the ending. You may have said, "I think James Bond will escape Le Chiffre and live with Vesper happily ever after." By saying, "I think," you are making a prediction. You may have also said, "James Bond is definitely going to live. The odds are in his favor." The words "definitely going to" indicate a strong prediction based on what we have learned. Perhaps you made a much more dramatic guess and said, "James Bond might live, but there is a chance he will die by falling off the mountain." This would be a speculation. The outcome is possible, but not certain. Review your guesses about the ending of the film and try to determine if any of your statements fall into the categories of a prediction, a strong prediction, or a speculation. Are you ready to learn the ending of the film, everyone? Here is what is missing from the text. His cover is blown in a mountain hideaway, and in the action-packed finale, Bond is distraught as tragically Vesper is killed, and he is left to question his future as a secret agent. So, in the end, James Bond lives, but unfortunately, Vesper Lynd is not so lucky. Now that we have the whole story, let us do an activity. Explain the film by answering the following questions. Begin when you are ready.
Students, let's get ready. Begin. Time's up. Let's get back to our lesson.
Hello again, everyone. Are you ready to see if your answers are correct? The first question is an easy one. James Bond is a secret agent who works for MI6, a division of the British Secret Service. Le Chiffre is the villain of the story. He is a banker that assists terrorists in hiding their money. The film begins as James Bond chases a terrorist in Uganda. However, Bond's search eventually leads him to the Casino Royale in the Bahamas, where he is able to locate Le Chiffre. The genre of this film is called action-adventure. An action-adventure film is one that includes a heavy focus on impressive visuals and cinematography. The answer to the last question is more of an opinion. Many people find it more difficult to name a story than to write the story itself. However, I am sure you have many creative ideas to share with your classmates. The film is actually called Casino Royale. It is named after the setting in which the poker game between the hero and the villain takes place. This concludes our lesson for the day. We have discussed how to study the plot of a film to determine details about its genre, setting, and characters. In our next lesson, we will practice our reading skills by studying the jobs of writers. Until then, thank you, teacher. Thank you, students.